In this video, I want to talk about the 5 reasons why I want to get out of rental properties. And let's get started. These are my 5 reasons why I want to get out of rental properties. There are other reasons why other people may want to get out of rental properties. There could be reasons why people want to stay in rental properties. This is my reasons why. There is no rhyme or reason other than just my personal feelings. People may or may not agree with me. That's fine. Number 1, repairs. I'm looking at my list here. Are repairs. So I've had a couple of rental properties. One in particular has been a nightmare. It's here in Colorado. I'm in Colorado. The rental property, I bought the house in 2006. I lived in it for 4 years. I decided to change jobs and move out of the state and rent the house out in 2010. Market was really bad in 2010. I rented it out for $1,600 a month. I was pretty much breaking even, if not maybe even losing money. By the time you depreciate, definitely losing money, but that's fine. It worked out in the end, but repairs is my number 1 reason. So I had a management company for this property because I was living out of the state, and I could have rented it out on my own. The market in Denver is very strong as far as rental is concerned. So, but I had a management company which used a maintenance company, not the same company, and they did shoddy work in my opinion. So anytime there was something going wrong, anytime there was an issue, they'd send somebody out. Because I wasn't in the area, they'd send somebody out and they would do, in my opinion, just not quality work. If you have to go out for the same thing multiple times, using just low quality parts and just run-of-the-mill parts, cheap parts, it's kind of like a handyman type of thing. So for some of the issues, I went ahead and hired, like if the fridge had an issue or whatever, I'd hire a Whirlpool or an appliance company to go out and do those. But for general things, like a lot of times you'd have to find out, you have to send somebody out just to see what was wrong, and they charge you a trip charge, just that, So repairs is my number 1 thing. I don't like getting calls at night or emails saying, hey, this is broke. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to send somebody out? And because I'm not in the area, that's the answer. Got to send somebody out. They go out, for the garage door opener. The garage door is going up and down, and it's going up and down on its own, and it's like, okay, send somebody out, and get out there, and yeah, looks like the garage door needs to be replaced, and it's like, I happened to be in town at that time during that one, but I go out there, and it's just the eyes. The eyes need to be adjusted. How hard is that? You know what I mean? I even had a garage door opener that I went to Sears, bought a garage door opener because they told me I needed to replace. We even brought a brand new garage door opener out there with me, and it was just the eyes that needed to be fixed and adjusted. So repairs is my number 1. It's in there, like I said, it's not in a specific order, but repairs, I don't have to worry about repairs at nighttime, and waking up to an email saying this is broke, send somebody out, sprinkler system's broke. And trust me, Colorado is not easy on homes. You got the hot weather, you got the cold weather, you got the snow, you got the blow out the sprinkler systems, you got the freezing weather. It is not very easy and forgiving on homes. So I am happy to get out of rentals, at least in Colorado, for that reason. So my number 2, CapEx. Here I rented this house out for 9 years, and I didn't set a lot aside for CapEx. Here it's 2019 now. I make about $650 a month on that house, in not profit, but after the management company's expense. I didn't until recently, maybe the last 2 years, started taking money out every month per CapEx. I underestimated that, and I know a lot of people do. That's fine. I probably should have set money aside for it, but I was investing in other things, so I invested in other things and made money that way, and that's fine. So here it is, 2019, July, and the tenant moved out, and I went ahead and listed the property for sale. But however, listing the property for sale, I have to replace the carpet because the carpet is shot. Carpet was the original since 2006, which, you know, I probably stretched that pretty far, right? It's a 2,400 square foot house. Carpet was $7,000. Now that's not top of the grade carpet, and that's not bottom of the grade carpet. I went with, you know, something that wouldn't mat down after the first year. You know, I could have cheaped out on it. I'm selling the house, right? But, you know, it's like, you know, I'm not that type of person, so I'm not gonna put the best in there either. But I put a, you know, a good pad in there, whatever. $7,000 for carpet, right? Got to fix the landscaping because, you know, the tenants don't take care of the landscaping. It's in the contract, it's in the lease. Cut the grass, take all the weeds, you know, keep the weeds up under bay. Go ahead and make sure all the bushes get trimmed. It's a corner lot, so there's a lot of bushes. Had to deal with a lot of landscaping issues, trees dying and whatnot, so I had to replace those. But CapEx, I underestimated CapEx. Definitely, that's something I'm happy to get away from going forward. I can't wait till this house sells, hopefully soon. So anyways, that's number 2. Number 3, depreciation recapture. 9 years of renting this property out, depreciated about $75,000 in this property over those 9 years. I am not happy about paying 25% of that back next year. You know, I mean, what was the other option? 1031 exchange into another toilet cleaning property, right? Just another rental property. Granted, I mean, there's a lot of other options there. I could have went into another property that's a lot less harsh on the property, you know, just a 1-story. It's, you know, it's in a zero landscape area, like, you know, Las Vegas or something like that, right? Another property in maybe even Phoenix or something, right? Number 4, hidden damages and lies. So, what does that mean? It means that I've heard this so many times. I've had, I don't know, 7 or 8 tenants in this property over 9 years. So what I've heard and get used to hearing is it was like that before I moved in. It was like that before I moved in, or the property looks better now than when I moved in. So anyways, those are the 2 things you hear all the time. But you also hear lies as well. People denying things. Like for instance, I had a tenant that, you know, said that the microwave door just fell off while they're eating dinner. They're in the middle of eating dinner and it just fell off and it scared them, quote unquote. And those people tried to sue me, by the way. So, because I basically took all their deposit and even requested that they send me even more money beyond their deposit because of the damage they did. The tenant just moved out and I confronted him and say, hey, you know, this house down in the basement smells like smoke. You know, do you smoke? And he's like, no, I don't smoke at all. Like, you know, like you have to take their word. Like there's no way to prove, you know what I mean, at this point. I'm pretty sure it wasn't him. I asked the neighbor that I used to know that lived across the street and said, hey, you ever seen any smoking out here? And he's like, yes. He's the tenant before the last tenant you just had here. I see them smoking out front once in a while. Like, okay. So, and it's too late at this point. When am I gonna bring a lawsuit after a year, you know? It's like, damage is already done. Carpet's been replaced, you know, I painted, touched up. It's not that bad, so hopefully it won't bite me in the butt. But hidden damages and lies, that's my 4th reason why. You're always going to hear those 2 things. It was like that before I moved in, or the property looks better than when I moved in. So anyways, I've heard everything at this point. So 5th reason why. Risk and unknown of having rental properties, right? There's risks involved, right? There's always risks in, you know, in investments, but there's different types of risks with rental properties. You know, it's like getting your money out is not very quick. You know, liquidating the money is not very quick. Not that the new investment thing I'm doing now is very quick either, but there is less risk involved. This particular property wasn't under LLC, but for that reason why, beyond the fire policy, I got an umbrella and $1 million umbrella policy. You have to protect yourself, so you never know. You know, some of the tenants had pets. You know, they're gonna bite somebody. Am I gonna get sued? Are they gonna fall? Are they gonna sue me? Somebody did try to sue me, or wanted to sue me, the same people that I took their whole deposit basically, and trust me, they deserved it. And I'm very fair when it comes to deposit too. So they threatened to sue me, and I basically told the management company, I'm like, I called their bluff. Do it. Go ahead. You know what I mean? So I don't think they could serve me. They didn't know where I was living. I have a PO box. I mean, even if they tried, then fine. I would take it to court. I'll risk it in court. I'll spend $2,000 or $3,000 just to make a point at that point. You know what I mean? Teach them a lesson. So I was very nice to those people as well. So let them stay there for quite a while, and you know, they're getting a house bill, and let them stay there all the way to November, and November's a tough time to rent. So, you know, what am I going to do at this point? Like, okay, stay here, you know, like, I don't want you to throw concrete in my pipes, right? So I was nice to them. And, you know, in the end, when you're nice to people, sometimes they just end up screwing you. They take advantage of you. And that's what happened in this case. So I didn't take advantage of them. I lost money. You know, I had to come up with a couple $100 in the end because of the damage they did. So, but there's risks involved with every investment. You know, real estate is fantastic. I mean, I love real estate. It's my number one go-to as far as building wealth. So, but rentals, I'm not totally done with rentals, although I don't actually have any more rentals at this point. The other one's being for sale right now. So I'm not against rentals. I may do them again in the future. But right now, I would rather just invest in, you know, invest in notes. It's a lot less riskier in my opinion, because the notes, other than the carryback, the notes are all non-owner occupied. So they're investors like me, right? So, you know, they're responsible for making the payment, not the tenant makes the payment to them, and then they make a payment to me, right? So there's in your 50%, like 50 to 60% loan, you know, if the house is worth 100,000, you're lending 50, you know what I mean? So even if something happens, you have to go through foreclosure on it. You know, even if it's in a crappy state, foreclosure state, you're going to be okay. You know what I mean? So, and you're going to make anywhere from 6 to 8.5%. So, you know, I'm pretty much, and I don't have to clean any toilets, right? So that's a win-win. That's my go-to right now, my go-to investment right now. So my top 5 reasons why I got out of rentals, and we'll just run through them real quick. Repairs, CapEx, depreciation recapture, hidden damages, lies, and risk and unknown. So I know that, you know, hidden damages and lies fall into the same thing in my opinion, but those are the reasons why I want to get out of, or why I did get out of rental properties. I can't say it hasn't been, it's been fruitful for me. I've made a decent amount of money on both properties. You know, that's part of the reason why I wanted to sell one in 2018 and one in 2019 to try to split the capital gains up. I have a lot of investments, you know, I have a job too, so I just wanted to split those. I wanted to stay away from the Obamacare tax, you know, not married, so $200,000 and above, you're going to pay that 3.8% Obamacare tax. So I wanted to split those capital gains up as much as possible, and now the carryback obviously helped, but in this particular property, within the other investments I have with my job, paying depreciation, paying capital gains, paying realtor fees, it's not going to be a fun tax season for me, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can control my taxes at this point, which, you know, I could add that as a 6th option or 6th thing. You know, I have reducing my, you know, exposure to taxes, but I have more control over it. I'm going to talk about notes in other videos, other investment opportunities, other things I'm invested in. I don't discourage, I absolutely encourage everybody to invest in real estate. It's probably the easiest thing to invest in. It's probably, you know, the least risky. Have, you know, something backing up your investment at this, right? So other than, you know, risky tenants and, you know, screen your tenants well, right? And this is just a last minute note. Make sure if you have a management company that they get video of when people move out. Like my management company didn't. They take pictures, right? But the pictures they think things are damaged, that's the thing they take pictures of, right? Have them take video of, you know, the whole rooms, you know, in every wall, and it doesn't take that long, right? Have them just, you know, zoom out, get the whole room, go through the whole house, just walk through the house. How hard is that to do, right? So pictures are not enough. So that's just a last minute tip. So anyways, I hope this video helped you. If you liked anything I said in here, or if you had any experiences, bad experience, good experience, share the comments below. I'm, you know, curious. You know, it's all about sharing your experiences, my experiences, and, you know, maybe we can help each other. So anyways, give this video a thumbs up if it helped you, and I will see you in the next video. All right, thank you.